Hi, my name is Alma Martin. I'm a Director of Product Management at Logi Analytics. The way applications access data has changed and evolved over time as the data landscape has become more complex. Data access has been adding in complexity too. There was a time when applications only require like a single relational database connectivity through either ODBC or JDBC, and that was enough, off they go. And that's no longer valid. Like today, we live in a place where we have heterogeneous data sources. You have data that's relational, columnar, on-premise, on the cloud, many different types and flavors and structures. And on top of that, you have all these different add-ons that bring more contextual information around the data. So you have things like predictive analytics, you have things like IoT, artificial intelligence, BI, and you want to leverage all these systems as well in your solutions. So as you can see, the data landscape has become really complex and applications cannot only rely on a single point of data. Aside from that, developers are adopting a services-oriented approach when developing their applications, and APIs are the common way to access data in that landscape. REST can be simply explained as the methods you use to add, update, edit, and delete data across different applications. And REST provides a very standard way of working with data that way. So it's the most common way on how you access APIs. It's been widely used and it's an open standard that a lot of people are using. And it creates a really good framework on how client-server communications work. REST has been proven to be stable enough, performant, which is really important when you establish communications across applications. And it introduces a lot of important security features in their model. For instance, you want to control access to the data. You want to make sure you have authentication mechanisms that support that security paradigm. Data masking, for example, is another thing that REST really does well. So all these different policies around access and control are very strong validators on why REST is important as a model when accessing data through applications. There are many standard APIs out there to query data for applications. Two of the most common ones are OData and GraphQL. So OData has been in the market for a long while. It's proven to be very stable, performant, and it creates a protocol on how to interact with these RESTful calls. It was created by Microsoft in 2007 and it's widely used. It's been proven to be scalable as well. And it's really a standard, around like 80% of implementations use it. One of the newest ones is GraphQL. So GraphQL was created by Facebook in 2012 and they made it public in 2015. So it's much younger in age, but it creates a lot of powerful opportunities on how developers can interact and use it. It almost feels like a programming language in a way. It's a little bit more prescriptive. You need to know exactly what you're asking for in these requests, but it creates tons of flexibility in terms of how you interact with data and how the data is brought back to you in a more standard format. So at the end, developers need to weigh in what their priorities are in terms of building these solutions, if they care about performance, scalability, flexible and really strong and rich querying capabilities. And once they gauge all these different variables, they can decide which is the protocol or the standard that works best for their use case.